Welcome to my channel, Ana Lana. Today we are learning how to make this wonderful sweater. It's very easy, light, fresh. It's a spring sweater. And also just remember, if you see me in YouTube, you will find me as Ana for Lana. Once you see this cut, just click and you will see all my videos. And we are going to need yarn category number 4, straight needles that are going to be 8 millimeters, and crochet hook of 5.5. This yarn is 87% cotton, 13% nylon, and it calls for 6 millimeters straight needles, but I do like always to go a little bigger so it gets looser. So we are going to be using the 8 millimeter one. And for the back, we are going to start with 66 points. That will be our foundation. Then we are going to be doing the rise stitch, which is going to be, we just pass the first one and then knit one, purl the next one, knit one, purl the next one. And we are going to continue doing that for 66 points. So I'm knitting this sample so I can show you the way that I begin each row, and just to form a little pattern on the side. So we are going to have, you see, the first one we are going to pass it, but this is a purl, so we are going to be putting it backwards, the yarn, and then we pass it. We pass the stitch, and now we are going to do purl, and the next one that was a purl, we will knit, purl, knit, and we'll continue like that. Okay, we are going to start the next row, and the yarn this time we are going to put it at front just because we need to show like the yarn going around the stitch, like you see, like hugging it, like strangling it. Now the next one is going to be knit and then purl and knit. So once now we learn how to do the rise stitch. So now we are going to just to continue for 120 rows, and we will be making just a rectangle. So the back is a rectangle. All right, so I think I am done with this rectangle. I have my 120 rows, and now it is about 20 inches, 51 centimeters of length. And just remember that this is a kind of elastic stitch. And remember that when you are going to block it, if you stretch it, it will stay stretched because it's cotton. All right, so now we are going to be closing this. And remember that we are going to be using the same stitch model. So we are going to be knitting the second one and then pass the first one over the second. So we already closed the first stitch. The third one we will be doing a purl and then pass the prior stitch over the second one. Knit, pass over, purl, pass over. And this is the way we will continue closing the back. Okay, so I just finished closing all the points, and now I just do one last knot, and I'm going to be cutting the yarn with better scissors, I guess. All right, so the back is done. So the front part is going to be the same thing like the back part, 66 points foundation. Then we are going to need 80 rows, and there we are going to start forming the collar, the neck. Okay, so we are going to just compare the back part with the front. So we already know that the back part measures around 20, 21 inches, because remember that this stretches. And then the front part, we are going to stop when we have about 42 centimeters, 16 and a half inches, because here we are going to start forming the collar. So we are going to put a marker at the stitch number 24 from each side. Okay, so in the center, we are going to have 18-inch stitches in the middle, right? And those 18 stitches, we are going to close them and start going up on the sides, forming the shoulders. So I'm getting here at the end of the 24 stitches. I will need 2 more to start closing them. So I close the first one over the second one. Here is the marker, and I'm going to continue doing that for the next 18 stitches. Okay, so we already closed all the 18 stitches, and now I got here to the number 24, and I'm going to start forming my first shoulder and start showing you how to do the curve that is going to be at the front of the sweater. Okay, so I got already to the end of the row. So I'm going to take the yarn and put it at front so I can start forming again this nice pattern at the edge. So I'm going to pass the first one, and then I'm going to purl, knit, purl until I get to 2 stitches before the end. And then I'm going to show you how to start doing the reduction. Okay, so I got here, these are my last 2 stitches, and I'm going to just purl them together. So I knit them together at the front. So purl, you see, and this is our first reduction. So now I just turn the work, and I will be just passing the first one, and I'll continue doing this row with no reductions. It's going to be a regular row. So now I jump to row number 3, and I am at the end. So I'm going to be knitting the last 2 stitches together. You see, so this is our our second reduction, and we are going to continue like that. So in total, we are going to be reducing 5 stitches. So it's going to be 1 every other row. And this is another one. So we just knit it, and that's it. Okay, so we are at the end of the shoulder. Here we did a reduction of 5 stitches, and we end up with a total of 19 stitches. So I did 10 rows from here to there, so with the reduction of 5, and then I knitted straight 2 more inches, which is 5 centimeters, and just to continue towards the shoulder. So now we are going to be closing it, and it's going to see we are going to use the same method. We are going to follow the stitches, the style that we are doing, and we will be doing so knitting 2, and then we go and close it, and just continue like that. Okay, so I already closed these ones, and I'm now going to cut, leave a little bit of yarn in there, so I'll be later on joining the shoulders. And now we are going to start with the other shoulder. So we have here 24 stitches, and we are going to continue reducing one stitch every other row. And we are going to do that for for a total of 10 rows, so 5 stitches reduction. And then we are going just to continue doing the same. Okay, this is great. I already finished the front part, and you see how fast and easy this sweater is coming to be. So now we are going to be joining the shoulders. So just take your tapestry needle, and with the end that you left in one of the shoulders, start joining them together. The good thing about this is not going to be not too noticeable because of the pattern, the texture of this stitch. So after joining the parts through the shoulders, I'm going to put a marker when I measure 11 inches, 28 centimeters. So here I'm going to start doing my sleeves. So I'm going to start knitting directly from the sweater. So I'm just going to do a slip knot, and I'm going just to pull the yarn through the space. And now I'm going just to pull in the next space. I'm going to pull the yarn and the little piece left over so it gets to be a little bit stronger, and do 3. And in the fourth, I just yarn over and then 1, 2, 3, then yarn over. That way I will be adding 1 every 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, and I will do that until I get to the middle of the shoulder. So here in the middle of the shoulder, actually I should put a marker there. So I will remember to stop because I need to count how many stitches I have. All right? Okay, perfect. So I already got to the marker in the shoulder, and now I'm counting how many stitches do I have so far. So I have 30, 32, and one extra that is right in the middle, 33. So now I'm going to go down, and I'm going to be doing 32 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, yarn over is the number 4, 5, 6, 7, and the yarn over is the number 8. And I will continue like that until I get to 32. So we got our sleeve foundation 32 plus 1 in the middle plus 32 the other side. So in total we have 65 stitches, and we are going to continue knitting the rise style, right? The rise stitch throughout the whole sleeve. So just remember, we are going to do one at front, one at the back, and like that. Okay, so for each sleeve, I'm going to be knitting a whole block of 6.5 inches or 16.5 centimeters. After that, I'm going to start making a reduction until I get to the part of the cuff. And in there, we will work on that later on. So here, I already have my piece of 16.5 centimeters, and I'm going to start doing the reductions at the end of the rows. Okay, so here I'm going to show you, this is my first reduction, and it's going to be at the end of the row. So I'm going to be doing a purl with 2 stitches together. I'm going to use a marker so I will remember where my first reduction was done, and I'm not going to be doing a reduction on every single side because I want to make it smooth. And remember, we have 65 stitches right now. We are going to end up with 43. So that's the point. Okay, this was great. I end up now with 43 stitches and I close them already. So now I'm going to be just putting together the sides. So remember, those are the little bumps that I was creating every time that I was putting the yarn at the front or the yarn at the back. So these little bumps are my guide just to make sure that I am sewing them symmetrically, because sometimes we stretch one side more than the other. So this is the part that I'm going to just continue closing the sleeve and then the sides of the sweater. And this is really easy and going really fast. Okay, so next we are going to do the cuff, and it's going to be in crochet. I'm going to be using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. So in one of the spaces, I'm just going to put through the crochet hook. I'm going to do slip knot, pull the slip knot, and then I'm going to do 9 chains. So I'm going up with my nine chains, and then I'm going just to look for the side that has the little bellies here, and I will pass it through and do single crochets in each belly. So I'm going to end up with 8 single crochets. So now I already have this part done, and I'm going to look for one space where I'm going to do slip stitch just to attach just the row that I did, and a few spaces more I'm going just to also do another slip stitch, because that's giving space for the height of the next row. And I'm going to be using the ring that is in the outside. You see that little ring in the outside, because that way is going to make it stretchy. And I will go up doing 8 single crochets using the outside ring. So this last point, I'm going to cross it through the whole stitch. That way it's going to be firm. And then I do 1 chain and turn the work. And I'm going to go down again using the ring that is outside, towards the outside. So now I want to attach to the foundation this row, and I'm going just to do a slip stitch, and then few more spaces I'll do another slip stitch to start like shrinking the cuff, and also start going up, and I'm going to continue like that. Okay, so I'm finishing this cuff, and this is my last row. So I'm going to start doing 8 single crochets going up, and then when I get to the last point, let me show you. This is the 7, and now this is the 8. And now I'm going just to put parallel the 2 sides, and I'm going just to put the crochet hook through the last point, pull the yarn, and do a slip stitch. So just put this parallel and take one ring and then the other one and just pull through. And we are going to be doing slip stitches all the way down, just using the rings from each side, the stitches from each side. So now we are going to start giving some form to our collar. So I'm going to do row 1, just doing half double crochets. So yarn over, pull through the yarn, and then pull the yarn through the 3 loops. Yarn over and pull through, and you are going to be doing that through the whole first row. So we are finishing the row number 1, and I'm just going to do one chain, and then I'm going to do 2 chains up, and then yarn over, and I'm going to do a double crochet, and then I skip one space and I do one double crochet, one chain, and another double crochet in the same place, in the same base. So basically we are going to be doing like this. So yarn over and skip one space, double crochet, one chain, and then double crochet, and now again skip one space, double crochet, one chain, and another double crochet using the same base. Okay, here we are at the end of the row number 2, and we are going to do row number 3, which have double crochet in each space. So just yarn over and then pass the yarn through the 3 loops. Yarn over and pass through. And this is going to be just half double crochet all the way. Okay, so now we are in the final part, which is the waistband. So basically, you can do it as long as you want it. At this point, I'm just going to do 10 chains, which is going to bring me to 9 single crochets. However, if you want to make it longer, because that is the point of doing the waistband at the very end, so you can see how long do you want your sweater. Because that's my problem. If I started already with the waistband included, it's very difficult to enlarge it. So go ahead and do as many as you want. So again, I just went down with my single crochets, and then I look on the base, I do a slip stitch, and I jump a few more spaces and do another slip stitch and turn over. Turn the work and start going up doing the single crochets using the loop outside of the stitch. So that way, again, is going to give it some stretch feeling. Okay, so I got to the very last part and I have one more row to go. So I just skip few spaces and now I'm going to start going up with my 9 stitches. And then this is my last one. And now I realize that this is a better way to join it, better than what I did on the cuffs, on the sleeve cuffs. So the first one, yes, I will take it through the 2 loops and then do a slip stitch. Now I take the outside loop and the other outside loop and then slip stitch. Outside loop and the other outside loop and slip stitch, and it's going to look very nice. It's going to be very difficult to see what is the right or the wrong side. I just want to show you the end result, and you see it looks like another row. It's very nice, very even in both sides. So then you are just going to pull the last string, just make a little knot, and then you are going to be hiding all the loose ends. Okay, so we got to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and you are going to be able to knit this beautiful and cool sweater. So I hope you like it, and please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't done so. I hope to see you next time in my channel, Ana Lana. Thank you.